All right, in this video, I'm going to show you how to create your double exposure effect. The first thing you want to do is go ahead and open up Photoshop and then go File, Open. And then go ahead and select the picture of Christopher Walken. It says open this first. Click Open, it'll open him up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over in our toolbar and we're going to select the Magic Wand tool. You might see a tool that looks like this first. So click and hold down, and that's your Magic Wand. What we want to do is select the white background. So we want to remove him from the background. It's easiest to select this white and then inverse it. So I've selected that, and I'm going to go select inverse, and now the selection is of him. Now we're going to go over here and click on the layer mask. So what that did is it separated him from the background. Now we want to add a background. So we're going to click here, and then we're going to go Edit, Fill, and we want to make sure we're filling it in white. So click OK. And now you think, oh no, we've ruined it. Where's it gone? Well, we just need to drag this layer down here. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to place the rocks. We're going to go File, Place Embedded, and we're going to go get that rock picture and place it in there. So by placing it, it brings it in here, it fills the frame, and it really simplifies the process there. Now, what we need to do, the transformation box is still up, so go ahead and click the check mark. Okay, so now we have Mr. Walken, the rocks, and this layer. And if something isn't looking right, you just might need to move your layers around. So that's how it should be arranged. Now what we want to do is make sure that we are selected on Mr. Walken here. We're going to go to our blend modes where it says normal here, and we're going to go set it to multiply. So there's a lot of different options here, but we want to select multiply. So now we're having that cool effect. The rocks are blending in with him. It's giving him this cool texture. The double exposure is coming into effect. We only have a few more things to do. We're going to take this layer of the rocks and select that, and then drag it down here to the plus. We want to duplicate it so that we have two rocks. Now what we're going to do is we're going to select this mask so that the white box is along the mask. On your keyboard, you want to push Control, and what we're going to do is we're going to drag this and bring it down onto the first layer of the rocks. And you might not think at this moment that anything happened, but let's turn some layers off. Let's turn off Mr. Walken here. Let's turn off this one as well. So you'll see we have this interesting mask going on with this layer here. Now what we want to do is turn on the bottom layer of the rocks, activate that layer, and now go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. And we want to move the slider over to 5. We want our radius to be at 5 and click OK. And now you can see, if you pay attention to the detail here, the rock is really blurry over here. And then we see detail on the mountain right here. Let's go ahead and turn everything on and see what is going on. Okay, so the reason we did that is to create kind of a shallow depth of field. The rocks over here are real blurry, making it look like there's a really shallow depth of field, and then it's sharp on his face. So it creates a nice separation. That's the reason why we did that effect. So at this point, you've completed the project. The one last thing we want to do is when we know we're done, we don't want to turn in the project with all these layers. So we want to go up here to Layer, Flatten Image, and shrink it down. Now this is what we do when we're all done with the project, where we know we're not going to add anything new. We want to flatten it and turn it in. And then we're going to save it as a JPEG. So we're going to go File, Save As, make sure that it's a JPEG, not a PSD file. And then we're ready to turn that in. So go ahead and name it, double exposure, put your name on there and hit save. All right, guys, that's the first version. I look forward to seeing how you guys do with this one and then what you will go and do on your own creation.